Greetings and welcome to another episode of Dreamer TV, bringing us the good vibes in these hard times. I am your favorite Dread. I know you see what's going on, I know you see the locks flourishing. But with all that aside, I want to talk about 4 things that I dislike. Things that kind of annoy me from time to time. Things that really make me look at this journey and say to myself, yo, I'm going to go back to the waves. And I'm going to look fresh and I'm going to look sharp and I'm going to look well put together. But I mean, it's only temporary and I cast these things to the side and I just keep on pushing. Alright? If you have locks, you might go through similar dislikes. So I don't know if you can relate, but let me just share with you the 4 main things that I dislike. Alright? Let's go. So number 4, I don't like my parts. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like my parts because when I initially started this lock journey, I wanted to go to a loctician. I wanted to get twists and I wanted big thick twists that would transition into big thick locks. But every loctician that I spoke to, they were basically telling me that it can't work like that. I would have to interlock it, I would have to do this, I would have to do that, rotate it. They're telling me what I want to do. So I ended up at a hairdresser and I asked her if she could do it and she said yes, no problem. She did it and initially I was pleased, but then upon further inspection I realized that my parts were a bit crooked in the sense of I wanted a center part and she parted it in such a way that the right side was a little bit over, into the center. You won't see it now because I'm using my front camera, but if I were to switch to my back camera, then you see the obvious difference. You can literally see this like coming about, an inch and a half over into the center, and it may make my locks look a bit lean, crooked, higher on one side than the other, and it is what it is. Alright, so still staying on the topic of parts, the 3rd thing that I dislike is the size. As you can see, the size is a bit thick. It's on the thicker side, but at the same time I'm a bit discouraged that it will look like this, and in a sense it kind of looks as if it's not full, it's just stringy. It's like some thick stringy locks, and I'm not sure if it will mature in such a way that it looks thicker and it looks fuller. I'm really not sure because the parts, I initially said I wanted thick locks, so I did the parts thick, hoping that my locks would turn out thick as well. And right now I'm a bit skeptical where that is concerned because I don't even know if it's going to look that thick. But it's something that I dislike right now because every time I look into the mirror, I see some locks looking skinny, some locks looking fat, some locks looking thick, some locks looking flat. You get what I mean? So that's a bit concerning. Moving up to the top 2 now. These are the 2 things that I dislike the most about having locks so far. Number 2, people's preference. I've talked to a lot of persons in regards to my locks, and they keep saying, why you didn't get it smaller, why you never do this, why you never do that. So the thing is, they're telling me what they prefer, which is the waves over the locks. The waves was good while it lasted. Now I'm on a new journey, I'm in a new stage in my life. I think the best that they can do is just accept it. Don't even appreciate it, just accept it. And the number 1 thing that I dislike the most about locks so far is the fact that I can't retwist or interlock my own hair by myself. Over 6 years now I've been cutting my own hair. Whatever style I wanted, that's what I got. Now that I grew my locks, and that's why I decided I'm going large, because I wanted large locks so that I could maintain it myself. I tried doing that once, and to be honest, 3 hours it took me, and it still never come out good. Right, so that's the number 1 thing that I dislike about my locks so far. Alright, but on the flip side, even though I dislike these 4 things, I must say that I love them nevertheless. When the locks is lean, I love it because it's giving me a more natural look. I want to look like your favorite Dread. So I don't want to be all manicured and look all pretty and all these things. Nothing against all of the gentlemen who take care of them locks and whatnot, but I don't want that approach. Where the size is concerned, even though I'm a bit concerned about the size now, it's still thicker than what I originally said that I did not want, which is skinny starving locks. Even though I have a few starving locks somewhere around the place, then I have some big belly locks I still love the size regardless because it is still maturing into locks. But it comes down to people's preference. I love that as well because that keeps the conversation going in the sense of my locks. It is a journey that I chose to embark upon by myself per se, and I decided on taking the Irie Nation with me. So when people say that they don't like it or when people say that they like it, I mean, I love that. I love feedback. Whether it be negative or positive, I love feedback. I hope that I'm giving righteous feedback, right? Me not being able to style my locks, I mean, to be honest, maybe it's a good thing because it took me 3 hours to style it the other day and it didn't style good. Try me, I try it, and it never really come out all that special neither. So right now, I kind of love the fact that I can't do it because if I could retwist my own hair, I maybe retwist it like every 2 weeks just to keep it fresh, just to keep it good. On and all, the 4 things that I dislike are 4 things that I love. So those are the 4 things that I dislike, but on the flip side, I do love them. About my Loc journey, you get me? I'm still going strong. I know you see the length, I know you see the hang time, still shaking it because you know we're still short, but I'm going to show you the transition phase, showing you from month 1 to month 11, and then maybe show you what month 12 looking like because October the 1st is month 12. Alright, so that's it for the video. Until next time, you know, I'll talk to you a little bit more. Irie people, stay Irie, stay blessed. See you later.